Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC.
A weekly podcast and YouTube channel where we discuss all things Wrexham AFC from the point of view of long-term fans and new fans.
So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 119 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. Welcome to Siân. Welcome to everybody else.
Welcome to Ryan.
Thanks.
Before we start, I would just like to say when this episode airs, which is 6 o'clock on a Monday, Ryan will be 43. It will be his birthday. So I would like to wish him a happy birthday on behalf of everybody and me.
Thanks.
He's milking it for all it's worth.
You got to, because when it's Siân's birthday,
I'm a princess, though.
Siân very much does. Oh, but it's the week of my birthday. It's my birthday week. It's my birthday weekend. So I'm happy for you to milk it, just as long as when it comes back round to me, I can milk it as well.
You're getting a week off work for your birthday. I don't, so I think you've won on that one.
Yeah,
anyway.
I know. It just falls really nice, doesn't it? In between when we go on holiday in the summer and Christmas, my birthday is slap bang in the middle of that, so it's the perfect time to have a week off. So yeah, it works really well. You got a bit of a bad shoulder, haven't you?
I have, yeah. So if I'm sitting funny, it's because my shoulder, I'm like that, because my shoulder really hurts.
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Anyway, on this week's show, we have a look back at our EFL. Sorry, did that seem uncaring?
Yes.
Okay. I hope it feels better. I love you. Well, this week we look back at our EFL Trophy game against Wolves under 21s. We'll delve a little bit deeper into that, and we're going to answer one specific question about that competition, and hopefully it clarifies a few things. You'll see what that's about in a minute. We're going to look ahead, obviously, to the Rotherham game, which is on Saturday. We're also going to read through some of your comments regarding the proposed Welsh Cup reform, which we asked you to do last week, and thank you very much to everybody who did that. We can't read them all out because we had quite a few, but we've picked a couple out. One person in particular made quite a few good points, so we're going to read all of them, so well done to you. And then obviously we've got the quiz as well, which is something. It's not birthday related. I was thinking about doing something sort of like relating to me. But then I thought, everyone who listens and who watches can't really
care.
That wasn't what I was going to say.
It's not the Ryan show, is it?
A little bit, but well, if you listen to some people, it very much is. But no, I just meant people at home couldn't play along so much because they don't necessarily know all the intricate details.
And if I get any question wrong, then that would be very bad. So it's probably a good idea.
Quite embarrassing for you.
Yeah.
So I steered away from that.
Good.
We're wearing hoodies today. Basically,
Ryan's too tight to put the heating on.
The weather's turned in Wales, shall we say? It is starting to get a lot colder.
Although on Saturday we went pumpkin picking and it was actually really warm.
It was, yeah, it was nice.
It was really warm.
Siân's wearing her WXM clothing,
which I wear quite
hoodie.
a bit. I did try to find my other WXM hoodie, but I can't find it.
I am wearing a very Wrexham themed sort of hoodie. Shout out to Tappy at Wrexham Training Revival. This is where
and
that
also
came.
Your parents for buying it for you
my
last
parents
year.
for buying it for him. Yeah. So it's
What Wrexham themed gift do you reckon you'll have this year off your mum and dad?
Don't know. That'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it? Well, I'll wait and see. I'll keep you.
I definitely haven't got you a Wrexham themed gift.
Okay.
So.
I think I know what you've got me for my birthday, but we'll see.
Okay. Right. Anyway, on to the news. On to the actual show.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's been brought up last week that Ryan Barnett has actually had an automatic extension. There's an automatic extension clause in his contract.
Yes.
Which means Let me read this so I make sure I've got it right. So meaning his contract actually doesn't run out until June 2026.
Yeah, so we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Somebody had brought it up that his contract was due to expire at the end of this season, and that, we thought perhaps we'd see a little bit of movement, sort of up towards Christmas, maybe in January, about a contract extension. It was actually Rich Fay, from Rob Brian Red, who actually posted that he understands that there is an automatic extension clause which was triggered at the end of last season, which now means, as Siân said, he's tied into a contract until 2026, which
is amazing.
That's
good for the club, good for
very
fans.
big news, I think. He is someone, as we've sort of highlighted before, bought him from a National League club while we were in the National League. He was great in the National League. I think he's just getting better, if I'm honest. I thought he was great in League Two. He's proved he can more than easily do it at League One level this season. He's already equalled, if not beaten, his assist total for last season, and we're only 10 games in.
Only in one game, though.
Well, he did
3 in one game.
Yeah, he did. So, he just seems to be getting better.
He does.
Good age.
Yeah.
Improving all the time. I think he is one of the players I think it is really important to be tying down. So even though he does have this automatic clause in his contract, which has extended it for a further year, me personally, I think I'd still like to see us try and tie him down to longer than that. Another couple of years on top of that. I don't think it'd be ridiculous to tie him down till 2027, maybe even 2028. That is a little bit of a long time, especially in League One. But I think it's
we're on the right road with him.
I think it's a gamble worth taking, offering him a longer contract for me. But perhaps maybe not going to see anything with regards to that for another 12 months or so.
Yeah,
I'd say. But it would be. I'd love to tie him down to a little bit longer.
To tie him down.
No. I wouldn't.
Well, we all know how much Ryan loves Ryan Barnett.
This podcast's taken a turn, hasn't it, really? But yeah, I think, I'd like to see him sign for longer. I think that'd be great. I think he's going to be key. We have said it before, and I will reiterate my personal stances. If we were to go up to the Championship this season,
we need players like him.
Or next season, he is one player that I don't think is going to be out of place in the Championship. Somebody brought something up talking about that, and I'm not sure who it was, so I'm not going to.
Researched.
Yeah, no, it was last week, and basically they made 2 points in one comment on our video.
Okay.
I cut out one of the points, and we just read out the other point. It might have been Neil Walker. But I'm not 100% sure. The reason I cut it out is he mentioned something that I want to talk about, but not now. And that is basically the ceiling of talent of the players that we've currently got in the squad, and whether these players have reached their ceiling in League One, or whether they could go again and and do it in the Championship. Mm-hmm. So I don't want to talk about that now, because I think 10 games in is a little unfair to discuss certain players and whether they've reached their limit at League One, or whether they could. It's a bit unfair after 10 games for me. So I wanted to leave that until a little bit further into the season, maybe 25, 30 games into the season, we'll get a clearer picture, and that is something that we will talk about in the future. But Ryan Barnett is not somebody that I would include in that. I don't think he's reached his peak. Max is another one. I'm not going to go on because I'll end up discussing it now. But but that is something that we are going to talk about. But just not for a while. I think in fairness to everyone, let's let them have, a good 60-70% of the season before we start discussing things like that, I think, for me.
So also last week, week there was an auction for the a shirt auction for the shirts that the players wore at the commemorative game against
Crawley.
Couldn't remember that. For the Miners Institute Fund or whatever charity, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that was last Thursday, I think.
It was.
And they raised over £20,000.
They did. I signed up. I registered to bid in the auction. Wanted to pick up one of the shirts. Thought it was, really good. It had obviously the 90th anniversary emblem on it. It was the only game that shirt was ever going to be worn. The Crawley
Designed
game.
by Liam Massey.
Yeah. Yes. Liam Stokes Massey. Yeah.
Sorry, Liam.
So it was for me. It was a really important
Yeah.
shirt. On the back, they were the match-worn shirts. They had obviously the players' names, numbers, and they were signed by the relevant player for that shirt.
I wonder how they did that though, because they're black.
They signed them on the numbers, so the numbers are white. So
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I registered to actually bid in the auction, really hoping to pick one of the shirts up. I think
Would you have washed it?
Would I have washed it? Absolutely not. It's got a signature on
Oh,
it.
you'd have to get McLean's then.
Wow, that's weird. That is possible.
Oh, when you say something and you think about it in your head and then you say it out loud.
Possibly the weirdest thing you've said on here. It really is. We'll move.
And I did the sniff noise.
You did the sniff noise.
Yeah, that's not even going to get edited out, which is really embarrassing.
Absolutely not. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Weird. Anyway, so I think the first one that came up was Paul Mullins' shirt.
Yeah.
So I was, I probably wouldn't have bought Paul's, if I'm perfectly honest. I had a couple earmarked that I wanted to bid on. Mm-hmm. I think Max's was one.
Yeah.
Ryan Barnett's, Owen O'Connell's, I was quite interested in, Andy Cannon's.
What about Okonkwo's?
No, not so much. Not
No?
so much.
Okay.
No, not for me personally. Anyway, having never been a goalkeeper, and it's just it wasn't really something that I was that interested in. So there was a few that I thought, okay, I'll try for that one. If not, I'll try for that one. So Mullins came up first. And that went for £1,100.
Yeah, weirdly.
Yeah.
As you were watching it was obviously live, wasn't it? So you were watching it. And also the guy who sits opposite me in work, Steve, he was also watching it. So he was telling me what they were going for. And then I was getting a message straight away from you telling me what they were going for. And I was like, yes, I know. And then you listed them all. And I was like, yeah, I'm listening to it.
Yeah. So when that happened, look, we're not, as a family, we're not well off. We're not poor. We're somewhere in the middle, aren't we, really? But it's...
I'm not spending £1,100
£1,100 was I knew they'd go for good money.
Yeah.
And I was willing to spend some money on getting a shirt. But when that one went for that amount, I thought, here we go. This is out of my league a little bit. I think the Elliot Lee one went for more, which was £1,300.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, I think the Max one went for £1,100 as well. I think Andy's and Owen's went for 600 odd.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That surprised me.
yeah, maybe a little bit more. I might be getting, there was a lot of shirts to try and remember prices. The best one, they kept James McLean's to last, the bids were they sort of come in at about 500-600, and then it was 750, 8. You know how an auction works.
I watch Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah, and then McLean's came up, and they said, right, okay, what bids? It just went 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 30. It's straight in. I think that one went for 1,600.
That's the one that sold for the most.
It did. James McLean's is the one that went for the most.
Doesn't surprise me, but also does surprise me, because I thought, even though that you wouldn't have bid for Paul Mullins, because obviously it's obvious, isn't it? I thought his would have gone for more.
Yeah,
Or
maybe.
him or Elliot Lee's, maybe.
Maybe. I mean, I think 5 of them went for over £1,000.
Which is good.
One that did slightly surprise me, which I think perhaps the beginning of this season has perhaps influenced the price in the auction. So Paul's only went for 1,100, which I'm with you, surprised me a little bit. But perhaps because he hasn't played that much at the start of this season, forgetting everything he's done prior to that, but the start of this season, I think if he'd been playing from the start of the season,
It would have gone for a lot
banging
more.
in goals, I think it'd have gone for more, weirdly. But then Jack Marriott's went for 1,000, which did surprise me a little bit. But then again, maybe that was influenced by the start of the season that he's had. And people go, he's more at the forefront of everyone's minds, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Look, it's a great cause, the miners rescue, and I'm really happy that that they raised so much money. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, I didn't get one, but the interesting
Can
thing...
I just...
Yeah.
I didn't get what you want either, so...
No.
That's not what I've got you for your birthday.
No, okay. But
Sorry to break it to you.
yeah, I think the thing that I did wonder after is because it's a shirt that you'd want to frame, isn't it? It's something you'd want to frame and put up on the wall. But then it got me thinking, which way would you frame it?
Could you not?
Because
Cut it down like here, because you're not going to wear it, are you? So cut it down there,
Yeah.
and then you can mount it on a frame, the front and the back. But if you wanted to sell it on later on in the time, I don't think people are going to buy half.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, so but it wouldn't be cut. You have to unpick it, wouldn't you, and make sure it was all. But yeah, because the front is really important because it's got the logo on it, the once ever worn logo. But then on the back, it's got the name, the number, and the signature on it. So yeah,
what you could do, is take a picture of the front, and have that mounted in the picture with the back of it.
Yeah, I like your idea though. I thought you'd gone mental for a minute when you said cut it, but I do like the idea of the front and the back being both on it. That sounds really good.
If anybody did buy a shirt and is thinking of getting it mounted and stuff like that, let us know how you dealt with that situation.
I think it was your dad actually told me, because obviously your dad's a plumber and he does work in people's houses, and I think he went to somebody's house once and they had
doesn't Snoop, can I just
no, and they had shirts.
Yeah.
They had a specific shirt on the wall, and what they'd done, I think it was quite a big house, they'd had sort of like a hollowed out wall, and they had the shirt, but they had it on that you could spin it, so that it was mounted with no backing, but you could spin it round and you could see the front of the shirt and the back of the shirt.
So depending what sort of mood you're in.
Well, yeah, or you could just have the back on show, but then you could spin it to show people the front.
Do that constantly.
Yeah, I'm sure it was your dad.
You could get like a mechanism on it and just have it spinning round.
Yeah, you could do.
But who has hollow walls in their house?
People with massive houses.
Yeah.
I think he'd had the walls specially built to be able to do that. Yeah.
Fair play. But yeah, that's a good idea. But
It is a good
anyway,
idea.
should we move on, because we've talked about this quite a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
So talking of James McLean.
Yes.
He appeared in the FC 25 Team of the Week.
He did.
The little what do they call it? Those things that they have. You know, well, we want to get Alfie one.
The cards?
Yeah, so it's got like their picture on it and...
Yeah. Team of the Week. I mean, I was really excited about this. I'm not sure you were that excited, were you really?
No, you came up to us that, I've seen it.
Yeah, no. But so he made Team of the Week in FC 25. Anyone who plays FC 25. Peter. Yeah, what did you think it was?
I don't know what they changed. I don't know. Because you keep calling it FIFA still, don't you? And it's not called FIFA anymore.
It's not, no. But yeah, he was in Team of the Week, so I was quite excited about that. Our son plays it. I know Peter plays as well, because I played with Peter a few times. But yeah, it was really exciting to see a Wrexham player in Team of the Week. I think Paul Mullen's been in Team of the Week before.
I think he has, yeah.
In FC 24. But I don't remember any other Wrexham players being in Team of the Week. So yeah, decent. Nice little card as well. I haven't got it. I did do a couple of SBCs trying to get it, but it didn't. I got good. Yeah. Anyway, blah blah blah. But yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, really.
So,
yeah.
if you'd like to support the show,
If you'd like to support this absolute rambling
carnage.
nonsense, then yes, we'd be very grateful.
You can visit our Buy Me a Coffee page, and the link is buymeacoffee.com/me the wife.
Yes. Yeah. So if
You were worried then I was going to get that wrong, weren't you?
no, because you looked down there about 4 times, so I thought if you do get it wrong, then yeah, absolutely.
More fool you.
Yeah, look, we're going to have a little chat now about the Wolves under-21 game in the EFL Trophy. And I said I had something to read out before, and I will. So this is from Tarden. He said, great show as always, thank you very much.
But
I wish you would have expanded your coverage of the EFL Trophy game on Tuesday and its implications, since those of us across the pond have nothing like this in our professional sports. Plus, it's the only game this week. Right. Okay, so let's address that a little bit.
Totally get that.
Yes, I do completely get that. I'm a big fan of American sports, particularly the NFL. And they all American sports pretty much have one competition. It is one competition for one trophy, and that's how American sports work. So I get that Americans, Canadians, and people from other countries who have similar sort of structures in their sport are fascinated by our cup competitions, because we have the league, which you would consider your main competition, but then we have these little breakaway competitions which are knockout, which are like the FA Cup, the EFL Cup, and the EFL Trophy for us, and potentially the Welsh Cup for us, but we'll come on to that shortly. So to explain a little bit more about the EFL Trophy, the FA Cup is our primary cup competition. It's the one that when the games come up, we will focus on and we will talk about. Historic competition, I think, feel free to correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's the oldest cup competition in the world, the FA Cup is. Lots of history, lots of, smaller teams beating bigger teams, happens every year. It's a great competition, and it's one that I believe has the biggest prize money out of the 3, really benefits clubs, especially the smaller ones. So that's a great cup competition. Second in line is probably the EFL Cup. That one's a bit, to be honest. It's another one that I'm not sure, I'm not a big fan of, but there we go. The EFL Trophy, which is what we're talking about, so let's not dwell on the other two. The EFL Trophy was brought in as a cup competition for League One and League Two clubs. Okay, so the FA Cup, it's a great competition. But let's be completely honest, teams from lower leagues are not really going to win this. Quite similar for the League Cup as well. These competitions are going to be won by your Man Cities, your Man Uniteds, your Chelseas, your Arsenals. That's generally, there have been a few anomalies down the years, don't get me wrong, but generally that's who's going to win these competitions. The EFL Trophy was brought in for League One and League Two clubs to, one, generate some more revenue for them, for games, for fans to attend, and all that sort of stuff. 2, it was an opportunity for these clubs to have a genuine chance of winning a trophy, because teams in League One would be the big boys in this competition. So it gives them, and the teams in League Two are not a million miles behind the teams in League One. So, there's a chance for everybody to win a trophy from being in this. The problem with it is that what the FA decided to do... Oh, sorry, there was a third point. That's why I sort of paused. It's an opportunity for these League One and League Two clubs to get to Wembley, to play a game at Wembley, which is, what a lot of players' dream is to play at Wembley, playing a game at Wembley. So
winning a game at Wembley.
Yes, so it gives these League One, League Two players the opportunity to be able to get there and actually do that. The problem with the competition is a lot of fans believe that what the FA want is they want to introduce academy teams into the league structure in the English league. So they want to have under 21s, under 23 teams involved in the league structure. That's something that fans don't really want. They want clubs to be clubs, and they don't want under 21s, under 23s, academy teams to be involved in the league. So the FA said, yeah, that's fine, we won't do that. Now, the EFL Trophy came about, and then all of a sudden they started throwing in under 21s, under 23 teams into the mix of this competition. So, one, a lot of fans don't particularly want to see their teams playing against academy teams. They don't want these under 21 teams involved in the competition. The whole point of the competition was the points that I raised before. So there has been a lot of criticism that's come in for the EFL Trophy. A lot of fans boycott the games because of this very reason. And because of a lot of fans boycott these games, it has sort of devalued the whole competition. And yeah, so that's the reason that we don't really focus that much on it. We will always mention it, but we just don't focus on it too much because of them very reasons, really. So I hope that explains why. I'm not one of the boycotters, and Siân the same. She's we don't feel that strongly about it that we completely boycott the games. But most of the time, it would involve taking time off work to get to these games because of Tuesdays. I only have so many holidays during the year. What would I rather save them days for actual league games that actually mean something, or for some very low down, devalued cup competition? So that's why we don't tend to go to these games very much. So I hope that explains it a little bit. As to
I think
why.
You explained it very succinctly. Well done.
Thank you. I felt like I've talked for quite a while, but succinctly I'll take that.
Maybe not succinctly then.
maybe not.
So the game on Tuesday.
Yeah, starting 11.
Completely different.
What we expected, though, really.
But it was just it was very different.
Yeah, it was. And I think I've mentioned this before. I think as much as I think it's been devalued over time, this competition, I do see the value in Wrexham playing in it at the moment because of the squad that we have.
Yeah, gives players time on the pitch.
It does. It helps players get involved in sort of like these competitive games. It gives them, actual match minutes. You're just picking something off, mate.
Molten.
Am I? So yeah, it gives them match minutes, which I think is really important.
Yeah,
in front of fans. Not loads of fans. I think there's only about 3,500, 4,000 there, which is less than there was at the Salford game. Again, you'll have a lot of people boycotting that because it was an under-21 team, which a lot of people oppose in the competition, which is why you probably would have seen a reduced attendance at that game as opposed to the Salford game. Just to explain that as well. But yeah, I do see the value in these players getting minutes. We had Callum Burton in goal.
Yep.
We had Anthony Ford, Aaron James, Lewis Brunt, Will Boyle, Ray Vaughan. I just feel like he's sort of, when I read everyone's two names. When it comes to him, I sort of feel like, like Bono or Prince. Just one name, Ray Vaughan. It just feels like a one-name sort of guy.
I did wonder why you only called him
I'd just drop the Seb if I was him. I'd just be Ray Vaughan. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm sure his parents are going to do that.
JJ, Ollie Rathbone, Harry Ashfield, who got a lot of publicity this week, Paul Mullin and Mo Fowl. So, look, great. Great to see that all of them players playing.
Yes.
I think it was very worthwhile. Harry Ashfield obviously made his full first team debut. Local lad, come through the academy. Fantastic. It's what we want to see more of. You know, we want to see.
Well.
Yeah, exactly.
Well.
Yeah, and we want to see more of that. We want to see more academy players coming through and breaking through. We've got Max. We want more.
We want more.
Yeah, we do though, don't we? Do you know what I mean? Mullin obviously back in to start.
Captain as well.
Captain. Brunt made it 1-0.
He did. I was quite pleased for him, actually.
Yeah,
Quite a good goal.
I thought he played quite well.
He did. He's had a lot of good publicity as well this week. Everyone thought he played.
He has. Nice little volley. I think it was Anthony Ford crossed in, free kick. Nice little side foot volley. 1-0. Brilliant.
Boom.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Boom.
Mullin made it 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I know why you're saying that, because it was another assist from Anthony Ford, ball
Good
over
goal.
the top, fell
goal.
to him, lobbed it over the keeper for 2-0. Why are you going,
Because it was a great goal, and it was the Mullin that we remember, but he didn't celebrate, and he looked really, not disgruntled, but he looked really demotivated. He just like, oh yeah, great.
Sunken shoulders.
Yeah.
He does walk with quite sunken shoulders most of the
I know,
time.
but he just looked. It wasn't
Very
Mullin.
muted, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think there's something. I think there's more to it. I think there's something going on in the background. I think he's disgruntled maybe because he's not getting in the starting 11 in league games.
I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I do.
I think he's feeling a little bit. I think he's probably feeling a little bit flat. You know, at the fact that he's not. You know, he took the decision to have this operation in the summer. He knew he was going to miss game time. He knew we would have to deal with the fact that he wasn't there. Similar thing happened the season before, obviously. And you could argue in League Two we struggled a little bit without him.
Yeah.
Starting, and when he came back, everyone was happy and everyone was like, you know, get him straight back in there. He wasn't right for a few games, but he got up to speed and he got going.
Yep.
This season, the argument from a lot of people could be we haven't really missed him in the same way as we did last season. That's got to hit you quite hard, that as, you know, that you're the player everyone misses and everyone wants back in the team. This time around, everyone's like, give him a bit of time. It's all right. We've got Jack. And, you know, I think the mentality of a player playing in a competition like the Bristol Street Motors is very different. If you are a player that is trying to move towards the first team, like Harry, like, you know, Aaron, like
Aaron James.
Yeah, like an Anthony Ford and like Lewis Brunt, you're trying to push towards making a name for yourself in that first team, then I think you're quite upbeat and excited to be there, and, you know, everything you do, you know. But if you're a player who has been in the first team, you've dropped back, maybe it feels like a little bit of a step down for you.
Yeah.
And
backwards.
Yeah, definitely. That you've taken your 5 steps forward, but now you've taken a couple of steps back, and you're finding it hard to get in. I don't know, but he definitely didn't look himself.
No,
did he?
I said to you when he's obviously during league games. This is when he is on the bench, and obviously Marriott's starting, and you know how brilliant Marriott's been with scoring goals and stuff like that. I said to you, didn't I? I said, I wonder if his heart sinks every time Marriott scores a goal, because it kind of... No, I can't see Paul being a malicious person. He's not, you know, he does not come across like that. But as a competitive player who wants to be on that pitch, scoring goals for their club, when you're benched and you're seeing your replacement, as it were, doing well, it must hit quite hard, and it must be like really demotivating.
Look, it is a difficult one because we're such a together team, aren't we? That everyone pulls for each other. Everyone's happy when everyone else does well, but there must be a very small part of you that goes, I can't have. Not that I can't have it, but it must be, like you say, demotivating that a player that is there to replace you is doing well, knowing it's going to be more difficult for you to get back in that team. There must be a small part of you that, like you said,
I don't think you'd be human if no matter what sort of, whether it's in everyday life, you're a competitive sportsman, a woman, whatever.
Yeah.
I think it is going to have an effect on somebody.
100%. I think so. Look, Mo Fowl made it 3-0.
He did. Do you know what? That was an awesome goal, to be fair.
It was. It was almost a hat-trick of assists for Anthony Ford. Mm-hmm. It was his cross that came in, but it looped up off the defender, so it's not an assist for him. Great little scissor kick thing. Very
Stephen Fletcher-esque, wasn't it?
It was a little bit, yeah. And I mean, he was, he's massive, isn't he? But
yes, he looked like he was wearing shorts that were like 3 sizes because he's got such long legs.
Yes.
And you look at Paul Mullen, whose shorts are quite long to his knees, and then you've got Fowl, who's like, yeah.
I mean, fans got to vote for man of the match first time this season.
I didn't vote for Fowl.
No, look, I think. I'm just happy that is something they're looking at, and it maybe isn't necessarily always going to be the sponsors picking it.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
I think it's a great idea, although you probably have sponsors who've already paid to be man of the match sponsors for the rest of the season. So I don't anticipate this is going to happen very often.
No.
But potentially they didn't have a man of the match sponsor, which is why they opened it up to fans. Was Fowl man of the match? Probably not. No. I think
I voted for Harry Ashfield.
Did you?
Purely because I thought he did really well on that game. It was his first team debut, and I thought he took it with both hands. And I think purely for that reason. Don't
disagree, but I thought. Well, I do disagree, but I can understand that.
Yeah.
I thought he played very well. I think Anthony Ford for me. I think he pretty much set up all 3 goals.
Yeah.
For somebody who's been sitting on the sidelines for so long. I think he just showed everyone why he's still an integral part of this squad.
Yeah.
I thought he played really well, and for me, I thought he was great. I thought Ollie Rathbone had a good game as well. But yeah, Anthony Ford for me, I think a little bit. But yeah, I think Fowl probably got it just because of the goal.
Yeah.
As opposed,
it was his first goal.
Yeah,
it was an awesome goal.
Yeah, I think that's probably why he got it. I think he chuckled a little bit about it on Instagram himself. I think he said he nicked one a little bit, because I think he probably recognised maybe there was other players there that they're probably. Yeah. Look, he's getting better. Not quite there though.
No,
I don't think
Still
so.
made a few mistakes.
Yeah, look, I think you put a post on, didn't you?
Oh my God.
You put a post on, just saying, it's just. I think what people have to remember a little bit sometimes is posts from our account are not always our opinions. It's about provoking a conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So Siân had said, does he deserve his chance in the first team? Ultimately, is what you said.
Just a question.
Just a question. Just threw it out there. Just for people to respond, and it's a good way for us as quite a small podcast to get interactions with people and to get more people noticing the podcast, and that's the reason why every now and again you'll get little questions like that. We had quite a few replies. Rob Abel, I think Mo will replace Ollie when his contract expires, and until then he will just train and play small competitions. Big fan of him though. Bordersea, no, on the bench at best. George Spibbins, I like that name. Nah, he may have given himself a shot to replace Fletcher as a sub, but probably not. A guy like Fletcher is a savvy veteran player. Fowl needs to keep putting in the work, and he'll get there. Top Cat, not sure about starting, but maybe an option on the bench. Rob won't get on the bench unless we get an injury at present. Mo obviously not shown enough in training so far. Mark Burns said, Jesus, no.
They were the nicer of the.
Yeah, I didn't put them all in, so there was a lot.
I was like, wow, it's just a question.
I think for me, no. I just don't think he's there. I don't think he's ready, and I think as long as he keeps his head down, he keeps doing what he's been asked to do. When he gets the opportunities he gets in certain cup competitions, it keeps his performance levels high, his chance will come. And he is young, and as somebody rightly said, you know, I think he is a Palmer replacement when his contract. He's just got to keep plugging away and you know, get the work.
So
done.
yeah, it was just a question. It wasn't to like provoke anybody or anything like that. It was just literally, and I don't necessarily think that he should be starting in the 11 on the Saturday game.
Definitely
no,
not.
Definitely not. Where you've got Marriott and obviously Mullen on the bench, but I just, it was just, I apologise if I offended anybody, but it was just a question.
Look, we talked about the Welsh Cup last week. We're just going to read through some of the comments. Roy made a few, so I'll read Roy's out first. He emailed it in. He said, the extra load of cup matches on top of league and cups is simply too much. I'm not even sure the calendar could make enough room. The problem would be even worse if we actually won the cup with all the additional games, which the Conference League games are obviously on a Thursday, which would mean moving league games as well, is the point that he actually made. He said, if you think George Dobson and Elliot Lee will be tired at the end of this season from playing all the matches, just think what another half dozen or more would do. Even James McLean isn't in any position to be fit enough to handle that. He said, in a nutshell, I'm fine with it, but only if the club drops out of the EFL Cup. It just seems wrong that clubs would be sort of double dipping. Is that a phrase in Wales? Yes, it definitely is.
I've never heard it, but okay.
For chances to get into Europe, because the winners of the EFL Cup already gained entry into the playoff round of the Europa Conference League. I like his last point because I think that is a good solution. The EFL Cup, for me personally, and I am not speaking for all Wrexham fans, for me personally, I am not interested in it. If we were to be involved in a Welsh Cup instead of the EFL Cup, I think that is a very nice compromise to make. And it would be one that I would be happy to make. So let us know what you think about that point, because we're not going to dwell on it for weeks and weeks and weeks. But, you know, I think that's a nice compromise.
I always want to say
Peter.
Oh, is it Peter?
Yeah.
Of course. But I always feel like I would need to say another word. So yeah, we'll just go with Peter.
Yeah.
Of course, Europe would be great for many reasons: money from the competition, from sponsors, from additional tickets, etc. Stadium. I guess it would be easier to get stadium improvement. Approved if you're playing in Europe. Squad, what people might see as a negative could be a positive, because nobody would complain about game time. Also, games against Cardiff and Swansea in a cup competition are fun anyways. And last but not least, me. I would love to see Wrexham play in Vienna.
That's it. That. You know, it's a fair point. I think, you know, we talked about, you know, I've been to European nights at the racecourse, not for many years, but I have. It's got a very different feel. You know, when you're playing teams from other countries, you know, don't get me wrong, I know we always play teams from another country, as in England, but I mean, you know, overseas countries, it definitely has a different feel about it. And it is something that, you know, I would like to see back. Who else did we have?
Brian McFarlane.
Bruce McFarlane. Brian McFarlane. Who's that? He was in.
He's someone famous, isn't he?
Wasn't he in Westlife? Yeah. Anyway, Bruce McFarlane said, I assume the Welsh EFL clubs would come into a second or third group stage of the Welsh League Cup. Maybe 4x4 groups, which, like in the old days, would give younger signings out of the academy like Rainbird and Asheville plenty of competitive game time. Very good point. About it being unfair, almost every nation gets to have its best club sides in Europe. Not just England and Spain and Italy, but also Gibraltar and Liechtenstein and Luxembourg. Wales's 4 best sides are blocked from representing Wales, which is why Wales's UEFA ranking hovers down in the Andorra-Gibraltar area.
Wow, very knowledgeable, Bruce.
Yes, it is. Look, if you do want to get in touch, you can get in touch on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, or you can email us at me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com. Yeah, so a quick shout out for the Fantasy EFL. Obviously, there wasn't many games on this week, so a few people fell foul of that because they didn't change their team to the to players that were actually playing. But a lot of people did. They know the score and they got their team changed. First is Kent Gulliford. Kent, I'm going to be honest, I had an absolute meltdown about you this week. I knew somebody had told me that what their name was because we just had K Gulliford. I still can't find the message, but I've worked out who you were. So yeah, there we go. You're in first place. Drew is in second, and D Roberts is in third.
Before we move on to the Rotherham, I'm just looking for something because I just wanted to give this person a shout out. But I'm struggling to find it.
Shall I crack on with Rotherham and then you can always interject with that, yeah?
Oh, it's really annoying me.
Yeah, but we might be sat here for 20 minutes with you trying to find something.
Yeah.
Look, next game is Rotherham United. That is our 11th league game of the season. It is obviously on Saturday, the 19th at 3 p.m. It's away at the New York Stadium. Why is it called the New York Stadium?
Because historically, they say it was the ground that it's built on was originally called New York. Something like that.
It's just on New York Way.
Yeah, well.
It's 92 miles. You might be right. Actually, maybe that's why it's called New York Way.
I am right.
Okay.
Because I Googled it this morning.
Did you?
I said Rotherham United FC Stadium is called New York Stadium because the land it's built on was historically known as New York.
There you go. But it is on New York Way.
Yeah, well, I was right.
But it's probably called New York Way because of the point that you're making. Yeah. 92 miles away, just over 2 hours. We are going.
Yay!
Aren't we? Yes.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we're staying over.
Taking the boy.
Taking the boy. It's going to be, it's going to be great. We're looking forward to that one. We got two away games
in a row.
Not quite in a row. We got a game in between. But yeah, 2 consecutive weekends. So yeah, it's great. Capacity of 12,021, an away allocation of 2,418, which has been completely sold out. Yes, they drew 3-3 with Peterborough on Saturday after being 3-1 up at half time.
Yeah, that was an interesting game, that wasn't it?
It was, yeah. They've won 3, drawn 5 and lost 3. They're 15th in the league on 14 points from 11 games. Last game between us and them was December 2007, which ended in a 3-0 loss away from home. We've actually lost the last 5 games against Rotherham United, which doesn't bode well. But it is quite a long time ago, so it's
2008, wasn't it?
2007 was the last game. They finished 24th in the Championship last season, which was bottom. Obviously, they were relegated to League One after winning just 5 games all season. They made 14. They brought 14 players in the summer. That does sound crazy, but a team that is relegated, that's not unusual for that to happen.
Get rid of all the dead wood.
Yeah, they're pretty much that. They're pretty much what happens. Top scorer this season is Johnson Clark Harris with 4.
Found it.
Okay, let's do your predictions first.
Oh, now I'm going to go off it. Hang on. Let me just take a picture of it in case it goes off.
Yeah.
Okay, predictions for Rotherham. I'm going to go 3-0, I think.
Holy crap.
Why?
3-0.
All right, 3-1 then.
No. Don't change just because I think it's mental. You just don't know, do you? So you've gone 3-0. Stick with 3-0. Just out of interest as well, because I looked at your little spreadsheet that you're filling in. Where was the Wolves under 21 prediction? I didn't see that on there. We definitely predicted for that.
Yeah, I'll have to add it in.
Yeah, you will. 100% you will. Because
Like
I can't remember what we said.
Well, I'll have to look.
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
You didn't win, so...
How do you know I didn't go 3-0?
Because I know for a fact that you didn't.
Okay, so you've gone for 3-0 against Rotherham.
Yeah.
I am going to go... I think it's going to be tighter than people think, if I'm honest. I'm going to go for 1-0 Wrexham.
1-0 Wrexham?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Is it interesting?
Yes, it is. Right.
Go on, you want to do your shout out? Sorry, go on, you go for it.
So, it's actually happening as... Well, when this airs, it will actually be over.
Okay.
But I'm assuming you can still give. So, Christian McHale, who we have mentioned on the show previously, Ryan and him have got a little bit of a in-house league going on their own. Yeah. Anyway, he is actually running he signed up for the 5K run that's for the Terry Fox Run UK.
Oh, yeah.
Which is happening, I believe, as we're recording, I believe it has already kicked off and they are running at this moment.
Yeah, on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday the 13th, obviously. And he's put any donations would be greatly welcome. He's doing it for the Institute of Cancer Research. And obviously cancer affects a lot of people personally or, somebody in their family or whatever. So
yeah, I think what we'll do with that one, because as you say, he will have already completed that run. Well, we hope he will have completed the run by the time this goes out.
Yeah, he might still be
Otherwise, he's
running.
going really slowly. But we hope he has. We love Christian. He's a good friend of the show. So what I will do is, if you're watching on YouTube, there will be a link to how you can donate to Christian, to that cause down in the description. So just go and check that out and please give. We have shared it on our social media as well.
I did share it the other week.
You could check out our social media, scroll through our posts, and you'll be able to find that. If you're listening on the podcast, obviously just head over to YouTube and just have a look in the description. It'll be on there, or check social media, whatever floats your boat. But yeah, so yeah, I would say good luck, Christian, but it's already been. So how do I phrase that?
Hope you...
Well done.
Yeah,
let's just say well done.
Okay. Yeah. And well done.
Well done.
For doing it.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, isn't it?
It is indeed. Look, it's been an interesting week, lacking some real sort of game time, but you do get the international breaks that pop up.
Seems to be all the time, though.
There are more at the moment. I think for me, I'm a very proud Welshman. I like watching Wales play.
They did well last week, didn't they?
I think Wales are getting better under Craig Bellamy. I can see development. I can see. I just don't think we've quite got it right in the terms of a full game. We seem to come out of the blocks really quick. We did when we played Montenegro. We did against Iceland, and then we just sort of let teams back into it. But I think we're definitely heading in the right direction. Just for me, the international break doesn't hit in the same way as the league does, so it's nice to watch Wales, but at the same time, I think it doesn't.
Wrexham's where our heart is.
It just doesn't quite hit in the same way, I don't think. But it's nice to be able to do that. Look, shout out for Dragon Chat. Before we move on to the quiz. It's a mental health peer support group. They run 2 Zoom calls every week. They do Monday at 8 p.m. and that is for women. And they do Thursday at 7 p.m. and that is for men. If you'd like to get on them calls, all the details of how to get on them Zoom calls are down in the description if you're watching on YouTube. If you really want to get on and you're struggling, just email us or message us and we'll let you know how you can get on to them. The best thing to do is follow Steve Lloyd on X. He is at DragonChat WXM FC. That's the best thing to do.
Steve's actually been in Iceland. I think he went to the Wales game.
He did go to the Wales game in Iceland,
And
yes.
I think Tim from Fearless and Devotion went as well. And I believe they went to have a look at the Northern Lights. But
we
I
had
think
them over
we
here.
had them over here. So, you know,
Mad, that,
at least
innit?
you got to watch Wales live, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Quiz time.
Yeah.
Just before we start, okay?
Yeah.
A little bit of encouragement for you.
Okay.
Paul Kelly has got in touch. Paul Kelly said about last week, this is, way to go with the quiz, Siân. You're the best. Another fun podcast.
Oh, thanks.
So there you go. I just thought I'd read that out to you just before we get into the quiz, just as a little bit of an encouragement for you.
Or it could make me bomb.
I've tried to be a little bit more sympathetic this week. There's no games. I've just tried to make it a bit more multiple choice.
Okay.
I don't know if that's better or worse. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
We'll
see.
Yeah, well, we will see.
will see.
Number one.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
You're sitting comfortably.
I am.
Okay.
I feel like I'm in the mastermind chair.
Yeah. On Tuesday night, how many players who had played a part in the victory against Northampton had minutes on the pitch against Wolves under 21s? Is it 2, 4, 6 or 8? Do you get the question?
Is that people that started and got subbed on as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Read the options out again.
2, 4, 6 or 8?
6.
It was 8.
Oh!
Which,
do you know-
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you'd have asked me that question, there is not a chance I'd have said 8. No,
That's a
no
lot,
way.
actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Question 2. We now have one game remaining in the group stage of the Bristol Street Motors Trophy. But who is it against?
Port Vale.
Port Vale, correct. 1 point. Number 3. We play Rotherham in the league on Saturday. But where are Rotherham currently in League One?
Are they 15th?
They are 15th. Well done. You were fiddling about scrolling, looking for something on Twitter at the time, so I wasn't sure you'd heard me say it.
No,
so
I've actually, I did a post about
I did
this
see,
morning,
yeah.
so yeah.
Number 4. Harry Ashfield was a big talking point this week, but how many times did he feature in pictures posted on Wrexham's official X account? Is it 1, 4, 7 or 11?
7.
It is 7, yes. He appeared in 7 photos. They used him in everything this week.
So they should. He should get the recognition.
Yes,
bless him.
he should. He should,
Yes.
definitely. Question number 5. If you add up the squad numbers of a team... Look, you don't have to sink your head into your hands when I mention...
When I hear the word maths,
Yeah,
my
no.
brain just switches off.
It's just a guess, okay? There's no maths to do. Okay, if you add up the squad numbers of a team who start a match with the numbers 1 to 11, you get 66.
Right.
Okay. What was the total of the squad numbers in our starting 11 against Wolves under 21s? Was it 111, 168, 199 or 239?
199.
It wasn't, it was 239.
Because I know that Ashfield's like 47 or
45.
something. Is he? Yeah, he's got a big
some
number.
big numbers in there.
Yeah.
Here's one for you. I'm not going to give you any options, just for a bonus point. If you just get it within 50, okay? What was the total of the numbers in Wolves' starting 11? Within 50, I'll give you a bonus point.
370.
Miles off. 587.
Yeah, I get that because they're under 21s. They always have the numbers.
They have massive numbers.
Which
honestly.
is why Ashfield's got a big number. as well.
I think the lowest number they had on the pitch was 34.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Not bad.
They had some in the 70s. I think they had 1 or 2 in the 80s. Yeah, so that's why that number's so high. I was going to do that one. I thought, no, I'll stick with the Wrexham one. So there we go. Yeah,
That's it.
That's it.
Bye. No.
No, look, I enjoy weeks like this because I think there's less stress on the podcast. Not that it's stressful, but just...
I was going to say, this is the least stressful thing that we do.
No, but preparing it can be quite stressful, getting all the information together.
I forgot to do my part this week.
Yes. I mean, given the fact it's a lead up to my birthday, you think, but no, it was... No, it is less stressful.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch... what I normally do, we go to the games, come home, watch the highlights again, make notes, and maybe watch them a third time. And then, to think of talking points, read through all of the Twitter stuff that we get in, read through emails. All of that, is... It takes time, and a little bit of pressure gets taken off when there's no games, I think. I know we had the Wolves under-21s, but there was no deep dive into that game. It was nice.
We won. We did well.
Yeah.
End of.
Nice and straightforward, I think, this week. So, yeah, I've enjoyed this week. It's been nice and relaxed. But look, we're really looking forward to going to Rotherham.
Never been to Rotherham.
I've definitely never been to the ground.
I mean, I've never been to Rotherham as a town.
No, I know what you mean. I've never been to the ground. I am pretty sure I've never been to Rotherham either. Same as you.
Is it in Yorkshire, Rotherham?
Yes, right by Sheffield.
Oh, yeah, oh, God, I hope it's not a journey like it was when we went to Sheffield.
I know, yeah.
Crikey.
Yeah, I know. I think we'll be all right. Look, so we will do our usual pre-game and post-game lives. So please... jump on, join us, and we'll talk through the team, and then hopefully we'll discuss the victory at the end of the game. We love you joining us. It's great. It's one of the highlights of the week for me. But
is it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh, you're so cute.
I do. I love it. I love everyone jumping on and talking to us and us talking back. And yeah, I do. I'm really enjoying it. But yeah, thanks very much for joining us this week, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.